Brett, any update on Ryan?
Not at this point. In terms of injuries, 2:30 Monday, it's going to be hard to talk on Ryan, TJ, Ollie, all of them, to be honest. We're hoping for the best. It certainly was enough to hamper his ability to run and get back out there. At one point in time early in that game, we thought he would resurface and have another go, but they thought better of it at the time, and so we'll just wait and see.
When do you expect anything further on Ryan and what about Spence?
Oh, we'd know more when we come out of our team review, which roughly around 3:30.
Is there some regret taking him in, given he came off a few times last week, complaining to Hammy?
Haven't given regrets too much thought. We thought he was fully fit, ready to go, and to be honest, I haven't got any information to say any different. His initial injury going back a week is a knock to the back with some referred pain, so we certainly didn't have any hamstring concerns as of last week, so and we'll wait and see what the scan says to determine whether he has got any hamstring pathology.
Did he have to say he was good to go during the week? Did he give the coaches the thumbs up to say I'm right?
So it's not generally a conversation, it's due to your actions at training, and he did the training that was required through our staff. So no, we were happy. We were obviously content to give him a role like the one on Eddie Betts, which is a critical role in a big game, and to be honest with you, I was really excited to watch that one play out. It was something I was passionate about, and I think that Ryan's got the power and the energy and the nous to get it done. So yeah, we were all a little bit robbed for the experience, to be honest.
Given how he looked like he was considering coming back on, I know you haven't seen the scans or anything, it doesn't look like it's a very serious injury.
That would be your first take on it for sure. And glass half full, that's our take right now, is it couldn't be too significant, but again, let's just wait.
Just one more injury, sorry, about Brad Ebert. There's some talk he might go into state to speak to some neurologists. How concerned are you about those concussions and head knocks? I think he's had about 4 this year. Do you have many concerns?
I think our general pastoral care, if you like, is at such a high level these days that we're always concerned, and we're also quite prepared to be well led in these types of fields. So I haven't got a really strong opinion other than to say that whatever it is the advice comes back as, we'll fully support it. So I'm not exactly sure where that's at right now.
How many knocks has he had that you're concerned with?
I couldn't tell you, Andrew. I haven't been around long enough. I have been told there's been multiples. I do know of the one game where he looked like he got 2 significant ones in a short period of time. So again, probably not the best one to ask.
So is he up and about now? Is he at the club?
Yeah. He was active in the rooms pre-game. He's been in and out of the club. So it's not like he's bedridden. We're just making sure that everything's as it should be, and we'll let the experts do that.
So do you expect him to train this week?
I'm not sure. We won't train today. We'll train tomorrow. So we normally get that list either late today, early tomorrow.
Jared Scofield left the door open on radio this morning that Robbie Gray could make a comeback this week. Have you got any insight into that one?
I hope he did leave the door open. Rob would be disappointed coming to training this week thinking any other way.
But he was ruled out for 4 weeks originally.
Yeah, well, that often happens. I think the thing that will probably get in the way of Robbie's quick return will be touch more than anything, and run. I don't think it'll have anything to do with the injury to his hand. Once that cast was off and once he was back moving it again, comes back to pain and touch. So, I like that he's left the door open. That's certainly the way I'm looking at it.
The silver lining from the game, Dougal Howard up forward. He played forward kind of when he first on the side. How much did you like what he was kind of offering up in the forward 50?
I think he's got AFL forward athleticism, which gives you a chance. He's got speed, power. He competes, and no doubt as a defender that's in many regular and consistent critical contests, you'll have an understanding for what it takes. You say that was a silver lining. There were plenty of silver linings in the game where we obviously came up short in one of our biggest games of the year, and he was just one of them.
Do you keep him up forward going into next week?
He gives us flexibility for sure. Not that we didn't think we had it already, but it's certainly something that we'd be happy to push the button on pretty quick. He'll certainly, through his actions and how dangerous he was, he'll put some pressure on some other players for sure.
It's a very small sample size, but can you say which one you rather him playing? Like if you had to pick a starting spot for him next week?
Yeah, I think it'll be a needs basis, to be honest. If we think we can get the job done behind the ball and release him, we'll do that. If we think we don't get necessarily the contest we're looking for in front of it or anywhere near the shape and structure that he can add to, it does give us that flexibility. So whether we start that way or whether we have it as an in-game tool, we'll just wait and see how the week goes on that.
Do you think there's a need to have, whether it is Dougal or someone from the SANFL, another tall forward, ideally in that team?
Oh, I'm not too sure at the moment. We'll look at overall structure, what makes us tick, what makes us more efficient. Clearly, when you have the amount of re-entry ball that we had on the weekend and we walk away with very little to show for it, we need to make some change. Now, whether that's selection or whether that's the the precision in which that ball goes in or whether the fight in front of it, there's so many factors to it. But the facts of the matter are, we made nothing out of too many opportunities, and really that's where the game was played for us, and that's where we were short.
So it's not really as simple as a lot of your fans might say, oh, I think Billy Frampton, we need a tall marking forward. It's not as simple as that.
Just the nature of the way you mentioned that comment would suggest that they're not the type of conversations I get involved in, but I guess I get where you're coming from.
Why hasn't Billy played? I mean, I'm sure there's a multitude of reasons, but his performance in the SANFL, he's kicked a lot of goals recently.
Yep.
And it seems like you need someone to come in and clunk a few.
Yeah,
Is there a reason he hasn't come in?
Well, there's always reasons and there's always things that players are working on. I think in Bill's case, without giving too much away, we play a 2 ruckman structure at the moment, which does prevent us getting too much taller. Bill's probably an equal part forward, equal part ruck, so sometimes it's as much to do with what's in front of him and what we're playing, rather than just his form alone. So he'll be in consideration. He was an emergency on the weekend, so he'll be in the conversation again this week.
Monty, is the inside 50 to a target still hurting you?
It's probably the one part of the game that doesn't get enough credit and doesn't carry enough weight, I think, in the footy community. The last touch and the polish on that, and I already mentioned our re-entry stuff came up short and was a big factor in the game. But if you go to the other end and you have a look at, I know their defenders got a lot of credit for how good they were in the game, but if you look at their forwards and the opportunities they took and how clean they are when they needed to be, that was a major factor in getting them over the line as well. So we lacked a little bit of that. We lacked a little bit of the polish on the kick. We probably weren't as up for the fight in front of it. Sometimes we lost shape. So yeah, it's super important, and we didn't get that right on the weekend.
That's something that sort of plagued Port Adelaide for the last season at least.
Yep.
Frustrating to see that it's still lingering.
Yeah, it is. But if you have a look at the forward line as it stands right now, without perhaps, definitely the week gone, and hopefully we can get at the selection table and have some luck. But without Gray and Ebert for starters, and you have a look what's down there at the moment in terms of development, you can understand some of that shortfall.
How do you think you have blokes not up for the fight in a showdown?
No, not necessarily not up for the fight, just didn't get quite the contest we wanted in front of it. So that's the look. Might have been the positioning, might have been the numbers, might have been out-positioned. So not necessarily not up for it, and that'd be an error on my part if I wasn't able to clear that up. But sometimes it's all things considered, and the fight just needed to be harder, stronger, and probably better designed, to be honest.
So much of the 2 ruck structure probably keeping Billy out. Are you getting enough from Lysett or Ryder when they go up forward?
Good question. I think you'd probably get a whole range of answers from different coaches around combinations and success rates and efficiencies. We're really happy with what our 2 ruck combination can give us around the ball at the moment. There's no doubt there's more room to move when they are resting and when they're forward, and how they connect with ball movement and also with their peers when they're in the area. So, we've got to be careful that one really key strength that they give us doesn't make us compensate in another, and that's a week-to-week conversation, to be fair.
Justin Westhoff won the John Carr medal last year, best and fairest, obviously. He kicked 5 goals round 1, Melbourne, good against Collingwood 2 weeks ago. Seemed to be lost as that key forward again. How do you find his role? How do you define that going forward this year?
I think the beauty of Westy to this team right now is not just his leadership but his flexibility. He's plugged holes. He's been a key target for us. He's been on a wing. You saw him go back to release Dougal on the weekend. So like he's hugely important as a piece for us to move around and one that doesn't get too affected by those movements. It's not something you naturally see in a lot of players, particularly young players, that you throw them around and they can have such success. The fact that we haven't been able to sort of bed him down and give him some continuity has probably hurt him a bit too. But from a coaching standpoint, he's been hugely important for us.
What did you do right to get it run on late?
We've got to be careful with those run-ons that it's not, well, I guess it's not just our one wood that we play fast and furious and take the game on at all costs type footy, but you can get yourself into those situations where the shoulders get a little bit looser and the consequences matter just that little bit less. So I think we got the ball to the outside a little bit more. Centre bounce is obviously a huge weapon when you're on. We got a few of those away. We certainly got the ball moving a little bit more as well, took a few more risks. So there'll be enough there to capitalise on, but we also took a few of our chances. We hadn't taken any in that first 3 quarters and they had. So.
You said things that are better designed. Is that an admission, coaching-wise, you just didn't quite get it right?
No, not really. I think every week we're searching for the right combinations in terms of who we put in that part of the ground for how long, who's high, who's deep, who they're up against. So it's really just a moving landscape every week and quarter to quarter, to be honest. They're up against an incredibly mature, in-form back 6 or 7 at the time, and we're probably as young forward of the ball than we've ever been.
Let's check on Tom Jones. See a chance.
I think he's a chance. How great a chance? We'll know more later in the week. He'd be good in for us at some point, that's for sure.